Hi, my name is Özgür Yılmaz. I am doing my doctorate in the Department of Journalism at Istanbul University. I am 28. I think that the fields of political science and communication studies have become closer to each other on many issues recently. Therefore, I will try to prove this thesis through the concepts I have determined. That's why I am recording this podcast. I hope you fun listening. The first topic we will talk about today is intersectionality. Intersectionality is a concept that claims that different forms of discrimination and power, such as gender, race, and class, are inextricably linked to each other. These forms of exploitation mutually constitute each other and have an impact on identities. The concept of intersectionality indicates the limitation of a single category perspective of struggle and the desire to go beyond it and acts towards this goal. Sexist, masculine, patriarchal, racist, classist, and heteronormative domination are the source of social inequalities. The most fundamental claim of intersectionality is that there is a direct relationship between nationalism, racism, sexism, heterosexism, and the nation state. These intersectional forms of domination are embodied in every aspect of the capital cycle in the form of production, distribution, and consumption of digital capitalism, which develops through information and communication technologies. Our second topic today is the politics of fear. Fear is a term controlled through process of legitimization, exclusion, and prescribed interpretation. The politics of fear can be defined as competition for control of the conditions that maximize security. The politics of fear is where the elite takes advantage of the effects of fear on the public to control the distribution of fear. The main argument in the politics of fear is that counterterrorism elites, although having different goals, share a common interest in preserving conditions that support the politics of fear as a means by which income, security, and other values are mentioned in society. The politics of fear evokes a pessimistic and monophonic state of protection. The politics of fear is based on a pessimistic understanding of political sovereignty and aims to perpetuate the insecurity resulting from the mutual conflict between states. Idea of the politics of fear emphasizes the necessity of the existence of a sovereign authority for various reasons. The politics of fear, which is based on the idea that chaos will occur if a justice-based order is destroyed, is based on the perception of internal and external threats. The politics of fear aims to maintain the dominant discourse and causes it to maintain its existence even if the structure of sovereignty changes. The politics of fear is accompanied by a culture of fear. The culture of fear is produced and spread in society by institutions such as political power, educational institutions, and religion. Individuals in society are forced to live within this culture. Fear has an important role in ensuring political unity. Political leaders use fear to unite for certain goals. The media has an important role in instilling fear in society. Many content analyses show that fear creates an effective discourse in the media. For example, Donald Trump used fear as the most important theme during his election campaign. The third topic we will talk about is fundamentalism. Fundamentalism is defined as the claim to base political principles on a text considered sacred. Fundamentalism is the rejection of worldly rules based on these sacred texts and their declaring them illegitimate. Therefore, we can talk about fundamentalisms, not a single fundamentalism. Fundamentalists see modernity and the Enlightenment processes as a challenge to religions. Fundamentalism involves people seeing their religion as a determining factor in their entire lives. Fundamentalism has been on the rise worldwide since the 1970s. Religions and the activist movements they create find themselves at the center of territorial and political sovereignty, human rights, and the global and local economy. Fundamentalisms aim to build alternatives to godless and secular states. Fundamentalists see secularism's weakening of religion as the result of deliberately chosen and calculated strategies. Fundamentalisms, like their secular adversaries, are products of modernity. Its reactive, selective, absolutist, dualist, and millenarian characteristics prove these. Fundamentalism, based on a masculine, authoritarian, and charismatic leadership, is a politicized form of religion. Fundamentalism has gained strength as a resistance to globalization. Fundamentalism, which aims to cultural homogenization and the return to traditional values, has affected millions of people around the world. Various forms of fundamentalism exist in Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, and Islam. Our fourth topic we will talk about today is privacy. Privacy refers to an area and the right that people have over this area where people can be alone, think and function as they wish and decide for themselves to what extent they will relate, communicate with others, at what place, time and conditions. Privacy can be shaped according to societies, cultures and beliefs. Privacy is among the basic qualities of human beings. Privacy, which has an intrinsic value, implies that the most fundamental values will be threatened if lost. Privacy is a dynamic process of openness and closeness to others. The idea that the individual should be left alone is the defining element of privacy. Privacy is a democratic virtue. It derives from the roots of revolutions of the late 18th century. Recently, the issue of privacy has been developing together with social media discussions. It is argued that social media platforms promote feelings of exposure. Privacy, which is associated with concepts such as the ability of people to be alone, the conditions under which they can enter their relationships, and freedom of communication, respect for private life and personal rights, is the selective control over a person's effort to reach himself or herself or group. Privacy is affected by developments in information and communication technologies. Privacy on social media platforms is shaped around spatial privacy, personal privacy, and information privacy. And the last topic we will talk about today is hate speech. Hate speech is speech that targets an individual or group and aims to hurt, depersonalize, harass, humiliate, and most dangerously encourage insensitivity, cruelty, and violence against these groups due to certain innate or perceived characteristics of these individuals and groups. Hate speech includes racial hatred, xenophobia, antisemitism, or aggressive nationalism and ethnocentrism directed at minorities, immigrants, and people of immigrant origin. It also includes all forms of expression that spread, incite, encourage, or legitimize other forms of hatred based on intolerance, including religious intolerance, expressed in the form of discrimination and hostility. Hate speech is examined under 6 headings. The first of these, political hate speech, targets the followers of a political idea. Hate speech against women occurs in the form of the use of sexist expressions and subordinates the position of women. A third form of hate speech is directed towards foreigners and immigrants. So, different groups and communities are marked as sources of fear and anxiety. A fourth form is sexual identity-based hate speech, which is based on the marginalization of identities other than heterosexual identity. The fifth type of hate speech is based on belief and sect. Accordingly, beliefs other than the dominant religion and sect are marginalized. Finally, there is the hate speech against disabled people and various diseases. In this context, hate speech has devastating effects on the lives of individuals and groups.